Background. In the early 20th century, the world was on the brink of an unprecedented catastrophe. A storm was brewing, fueled by tensions, rivalries, and ambitions of nations. This storm would come to be known as World War I, a conflict that would engulf the globe and forever change the course of history. Black and white images of soldiers marching, mobilization, and war preparations. In the summer of 1914, the world stood at a crossroads. Nationalism surged, and empires sought to expand their influence. Imperial ambitions clashed, and rivalries grew intense. The spark that would ignite the fire came in the form of an assassination in the city of Sarajevo. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, Maps of Europe. On that fateful day, Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary fell victim to an assassin's bullet. The world held its breath as the dominoes of diplomacy began to fall. The alliances, born out of a desire for security, transformed into webs of entanglement that would pull nations into a cataclysmic war. Explosions, soldiers charging into battle, trenches. The war erupted with fury, and Europe became a battlefield of unimaginable horrors. Soldiers donned their uniforms, kissed their loved ones goodbye, and marched towards the front lines. But what awaited them was not glory, but a landscape of destruction and despair. Trenches, barbed wire, soldiers in gas masks. The Western Front became a hellish quagmire of trenches, stretching across miles of desolate landscapes. Soldiers endured relentless artillery barrages, poison gas attacks, and the constant fear of death. The war had transformed into a war of attrition, where each inch of territory was paid for in blood. Soldiers from different nations, battlefield chaos. But the war was not confined to Europe alone. It spread its tendrils across oceans and continents. The Eastern Front witnessed colossal battles between Germany, Austria-Hungary, and their adversaries. From the scorching deserts of the Middle East to the jungles of Africa, soldiers fought and perished in far-flung corners of the world. Tanks, airplanes, warships. Technological advancements reshaped the nature of warfare. Tanks rumbled across battlefields, airplanes soared through the skies, and warships unleashed their devastating firepower upon the seas. Yet, these innovations brought unprecedented destruction and unimaginable loss. Civilians, refugees, devastated cities. As the war raged on, civilians bore the brunt of the conflict. They witnessed their homes reduced to rubble, their cities in ruins. Millions became refugees, displaced by the tides of war. Their lives forever shattered by the horrors they experienced. Treaty of Versailles signing, leaders. Finally, after years of unimaginable suffering, the guns fell silent. An armistice was signed, and the world held its breath, hoping for lasting peace. But the cost of peace would be high, as the victors gathered in Versailles to determine the fate of nations. Maps, diplomats. The Treaty of Versailles sought to reshape the world order, but its terms would sow the seeds of future conflicts. Germany, burdened with blame and heavy reparations, would nurse a grudge that would fuel the flames of a second, even deadlier world war. League of Nations, world map. In the aftermath, the League of Nations was established, an ambitious endeavor to prevent future conflicts through diplomacy and cooperation. The world hoped that the League would be a beacon of peace, a forum for resolving disputes, and a safeguard against the horrors of war. But the League would face daunting challenges and the realities of an ever-changing global landscape. Rising tensions, economic instability, poverty. However, the aftermath of World War I was marked by rising tensions, economic instability, and social upheaval. The war had left scars on the global psyche, and societies struggled to rebuild and find their footing in a world forever altered by the ravages of war. The wounds ran deep, and the collective trauma would shape the course of history. Rise of ideologies, political unrest, Adolf Hitler. In the midst of this turmoil, new ideologies took hold, and political unrest simmered beneath the surface. It was during this tumultuous period that a man named Adolf Hitler rose to power in Germany, capitalizing on the grievances and the sense of injustice bred by the Treaty of Versailles. The stage was set for a new and even more devastating conflict, World War II. World War II footage, bombings, soldiers. World War I had sown the seeds of its own sequel. As the world plunged once again into darkness, the lessons learned from the Great War would be put to the test. The sacrifices made, the lives lost, and the horrors witnessed were not in vain, for they served as a reminder of the urgent need for peace, cooperation, and the pursuit of common humanity. Montage of historical images, soldiers, peace symbols. Today, as we look back on the cataclysmic events of World War I, let us remember the countless lives affected by the conflict. Let us honor the sacrifices of those who fought and those who perished. And let us never forget the enduring lesson that war, no matter the cause, exacts a heavy toll on humanity. Closing shot. World War I Memorial, wreaths. As we pay tribute to the fallen, let us strive to build a world where conflicts are resolved through dialogue and understanding. May the memory of World War I serve as a constant reminder of the fragility of peace and the importance of cherishing the precious gift of harmony. Peace out. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the tumultuous era of World War I. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more historical insights. Until next time, may peace prevail.